It's Tuesday, January 9th. I'm your host, Sarah Beal. On today's show, up first, we'll talk to Consumer Affairs Supervisor Elizabeth Hartsgrove. Then we'll talk Senior Center activities with Coordinator Susan Griffin. And finally, we'll check in with DPW Director Dan Santos. But first, let's get a look at today's top headlines. Town Council President Eric Steinhilber and School Committee Chair Chris Joyce have provided a timeline for filling the recent vacancy on the Barnstable School Committee. Interested applicants should submit their resume to the School Department main office or the Barnstable Town Council office by Friday, January 12th. Once all applicants have been interviewed, the Joint Subcommittee will recommend 2 applicants to move forward. A joint meeting of the School Committee and Town Council will take place at the Town Council meeting scheduled for Thursday, February 1st at 7 p.m. At that time, the final 2 applicants will have a second interview. Upon completion of the second interview, a vote will be taken to determine the successful candidate for the Barnstable School Committee. For more information, please contact Cynthia Lovell, Town Council Administrator, at 508-862-4733. The Town Clerk's Office has mailed out this year's town census. The census voter street listing form should have arrived on or about the first week of January. By responding to the census, you are providing proof of your residency to protect your voting rights. If all the information on your census is correct, simply sign the bottom of the census and send it back to the Town Clerk's Office. If someone has moved out of your household and is a voter, please include their address, email, or phone number so that the Town Clerk's Office can contact them to obtain verification. If anyone has been added to your household, just put their information down on one of the blank lines and make all corrections on the form. You cannot register to vote on the census form, but if you do have computer access, you can go directly to the Secretary of State's website and register online at www.sec.state.ma.us. Then click on Elections and Voting to register to vote, or you can go to the Town Clerk's Office and spend a few minutes with them as they enter your voter registration info into their computer. If you have any questions, please contact the Clerk's Office at 508-862-4044. The Town of Barnstable Public Health Division will hold a flu clinic at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center on January 18th. This clinic is open to all town residents and the fee is just $3. The clinic will be held Thursday, January 18th from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Consent forms will be available at the Barnstable Public Health Division office at 200 Main Street and the Barnstable Senior Center. For more information, please call the Town of Barnstable Public Health Division at 508-862-4644. Coming up, we'll chat with Consumer Affairs Supervisor Elizabeth Hartsgrove. Elizabeth, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
So we're going to talk a little bit about a new program that you guys started this year in the Consumer Affairs Division. You started Discover Barnstable.
Yeah.
Started it over summer down at Bismarck Park. Let's talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, it was offered on Monday mornings and Thursday afternoons, and it was a way for the community to get to know some of the other divisions and departments they don't interact with on a daily basis and understand some of the programs that we offer that are open to residents as well as guests that come to visit our community. And so we had natural resources come, we had the golf division, we had all different genres of our services come and offer these fun little free programs for families of all ages. So yeah, it was really very successful.
Yes, it's such a fun idea, and it's such a great space down there at the harbor. You get so many different people coming off the ferries, and people that are on vacation, and then people that live here that are in the area, maybe they're working. I mean, it's such a great idea, and you're kind of continuing that through the winter.
We are. It was really successful. So we have partnered with the Senior Center to use their space, and we started with divisions in programs within Consumer Affairs that I handle. So we started with weights and measures, and they did a informational piece on how weights and measures program actually benefits our residents, and specifically on the seniors level. So it's they learned about all different types of things of how to actually check for packaging at the grocery stores, what to do at gas stations if it doesn't actually come up to the right price, or even even things as far as identity theft and looking at skimmers that possibly might be on a credit card machine at a gas pump or even at a grocery store or any type of store. So those were informational pieces that was, again, it was very successful. People didn't know about these programs that we offer, and so we will be continuing it again with the parking division and doing handicap parking and what the pros and cons and the right ways of parking and identifying handicap spaces and things like that. We will be doing that in collaboration with the Disability Commission as well. So yeah, so we're going to be doing that, and then carrying Discover Barnstable back into the summer of 2018 and expanding it to the town green next year.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yes, we will be partnering with the movies, the family movie nights, and doing something prior to the movie. So it's a fun activity to get the kids pumped up, and it will be in some form of connection. So if they're doing a animal type of movie, then we will have the natural resources come down and do something with them.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
What a great idea. And I love the idea of going to the senior center and making sure that the seniors are, aware of, everything, those everyday purchases and things like that. Because I know the Weights and Measures, department, they do so much hard work.
Yeah.
There's only a few of them.
Yeah.
And they cover 11 towns on the Cape.
10
towns on the Cape.
But there's only 4 of them, you're right.
There's only 4 of them, and it's amazing all the work they do. I've done a couple of videos with them over the years, and it's so eye-opening, and it's so important for people to understand that, as a consumer, you have to be a little bit, savvy to know.
Yeah, but you have to be educated. And if they're not able to get to the people who understand the complexities of any type of weighted product that you're purchasing, then they're not going to be informed.
Yeah.
So we have to bring our inspectors to the people to be able to educate them.
To explain. And then with the parking division teaming up with the Disability Commission, I think that's going to be wonderful, because I know there's been some changes, and there's some things that people might not understand about handicap parking.
Absolutely.
And it's so important.
Yep, it is. It's important for not just the users of the space, but also the businesses, and making sure that their spaces are in compliance, as well as assisting people with the disabilities that need the help.
Wonderful.
So, yeah.
And then Discover Barnstable 2018. I'm really looking forward to that. That sounds so exciting.
Yeah.
Being here on the green with the movies, and then also you can stick being down at
We
Bismarck
are.
Park.
It's now going to be, I think, 3, maybe 4 days a week. So we're really going gung-ho on this. It's wonderful.
That's awesome. It's all about making sure that the residents and the visitors of the town know what the town has to offer and what we're doing. We're working every day for them. That's the whole purpose of what we do.
Yeah, and it's not just plowing the roads or sanding the roads or making sure the water turns on. It's other programs and services that we provide that benefit all ages.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming in and giving us an update on Discover Barnstable. I can't wait to see what you guys have coming in 2018.
It's going to be exciting.
My guest today is Elizabeth Hartsgrove. She's the Consumer Affairs Supervisor here in the town of Barnstable. Coming up, we'll check in with DPW Director Dan Santos, but first, let's find out what's going on at the Senior Center with Activities Coordinator Susan Griffin. Susan, thank you so much for joining us today. There's a lot going on at the Senior Center. It's a new year. Let's start with, tax season is right around the corner. Everyone's going to be getting ready to prepare their taxes, and you guys have some people that come in and offer to help with their tax preparation.
We do. We're very, very fortunate. I believe this is possibly the 12th year that AARP volunteers, tax preparers have come in, and they will do taxes for free. They'll do basic taxes. They will not, if you own a lot of property or a lot of stocks, they're a little more involved, so you would need to go to an accountant. But we begin taking, believe it or not, it's hard to believe already, taking appointments starting on Tuesday the 16th.
Wow.
Yes, so they'll be here on Monday. They'll be here Mondays all day, and then on Tuesday afternoon. So we have twice a week that people can make an appointment to get their taxes done. So we encourage people to call in and get that appointment, even if you're not going to, you don't want your taxes done until April. That's fine. Just get in there and get that appointment.
Yeah, it's important to get in and get the appointment, because I imagine, getting your taxes prepared for free, I mean, that's a really wonderful thing that you offer, and it's great that you partner with AARP to do that, because it can be expensive to get your taxes done. So
that's for sure. And AARP is really very, very involved in the training and the testing of the people that will be doing taxes. And many of these are retired professional accountants or people that have worked, in the numbers field, I guess
right.
you'd say. So, and they're giving back some of their time as well. So it's a really, really they're very well educated in what the new policies and procedures are with the IRS. So I encourage people. Last year we were booked by the end of January right through till April. So
wow.
That's why it's important that people give us a call.
Are there any limits to who can use the service?
Well, it's primarily seniors or people with disabilities that can't or have affordability issues that are certainly welcome to come in. But it really is open to everyone. So we obviously, it's a 50 plus for being seniors.
Right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. No, that's what it's for. And those are the people that are going to need it most. I mean, I can't imagine, trying to do your taxes when you're, a little bit older. I mean, I do my taxes right online, so I mean that's not an easy thing for everybody to do.
No.
So
true.
it's great to get that help. We also want to talk about the Savvy Caregivers.
Yes. This is through the Healthy Living Center of Excellence, and it's called the Savvy Caregiver Program, and it's a free 6-session training for family and friends who are caregivers of people living with Alzheimer's or forms of dementia. This has been a very successful program here. This is the third time we'll be offering it. It begins Wednesday, January 24th through till February 28th. And it's here at the Senior Center from 10 a.m. to 11:30. And if you're interested, you want to talk to Donna, and her phone number is 508-862-4753. And the really great thing about this program is people are caring for their loved one at home, but there's so many healthy tips that will make it a little bit easier for you to work in that situation in regards to communication and resources and just learning skills just to manage, on a daily basis, because it's a difficult thing for a lot of people to do, and that there's help out there. So we encourage people that are in that situation now just to even give Donna a call. And again, it's 508-862-4753.
That's wonderful. I know so many people nowadays are caregiving for, maybe a spouse, maybe their parents, and it's not something that's really easy to do. So it's wonderful that you offer these, classes, and I know you have support groups for caregivers so that they don't feel alone, because it can be a little overwhelming taking care of somebody.
Oh, for sure. In any of these groups, the support groups or even this caregiver group, Savvy Caregiver Group, just what you learn from each other is just as valuable as what you would learn from a professional. So, on that note, too, we do offer some caregiver support groups. And there's one for men only, and that's the first and third Wednesday of the month, 9:30 to 11. That's offered through Family Caregiver Support Program at Elder Services. And if people are interested, they would want to call Frank Riley at 508-394-4630. We also have a General Caregiver Support Group, which is the second and fourth Wednesday of the month, and that's from 9:30 to 11 a.m., again through Elder Services, and that would be Beth Gilmore that you would want to contact, and that's 508-394-4630. So those are some great programs that we offer here for support. I'm not sure if people are aware, we also offer an alienated grandparents. It's an anonymous support group, but there is a woman named Kathy that people could contact for more information, and that's 508-563-3567. So we're pretty pleased to offer these programs to help people during difficult periods in their life.
Wonderful. You guys do such a great job. You're such a beacon of hope, I think, for people in the community. You offer so many different things and give people a place to go. One of the many other things that you guys offer at the Senior Center is exercise classes. I know with the new year, a lot of people, make resolutions, and they look at the new year as a way to kind of start over. So
that's right.
We've got a new crop of exercise classes coming.
Yes,
up.
we do. And I also want to say that people can come in and try any one class class for free. So if they're looking at our newsletter, which will be mailed out, the new one for February, March will be mailed out the week of the 15th of January. So you'll be receiving that soon. Just you see something in there, call us up, ask if you can come in on such and such a day to try it, and you're more than welcome to do so. And we have everything here from Dance for Joy, line dancing, there's chair-supported yoga, there's a cardio class. So there's, fairly easy, not so active exercise classes that you can really benefit from, all the way to, banging on drums and, jumping around the room. So there's a lot of fun classes here that we offer, and there's over 22 of them. So
wow.
We encourage people to take a look at our newsletter and see what might interest you.
So many great classes. I know I've taken classes at the Senior Center before, so it's not just for seniors.
No, it's not.
I took the yoga class, and it was amazing. The instructor is wonderful. Everyone that takes the classes are so nice. Really recommend that people, pick up a compass and check it out, because you never know what you might find.
I know. It's the best deal around. They average out about $6 a class, and like you said, our instructors are just phenomenal. They're really professionals in their field and do a great job.
That's great. Is there anything else you want to chat about, Susan, before I let you go today?
Well, I'd just like to say, come on in for those exercise classes in this cold weather. Just think bathing suit.
Right. It'll hopefully be here before we know it. The warm weather, beaches, sunshine.
That's right. Beautiful day on Cape Cod.
Exactly. Thank you, Susan, so much for joining us today, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Sarah. Have a good day.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye. My guest today is Susan Griffin. She's the activities coordinator at the Barnstable Senior Center. Dan, thank you so much for joining us today. Obviously, we had our first big winter storm over the past weekend. So let's jump right in and talk a little bit about it. It really started probably, I'd say, like Thursday morning. It was pretty windy and pretty cold.
Right, and in retrospect, it certainly could have been a lot worse.
Definitely.
We were prepared for and expecting a lot worse. But this is a great example of how it's so difficult to predict these winter storms and how they're going to affect us, and how every single one of them is different in some respect or another. But we were pretty much, I would have bet on we were going to get some snow, and that's all the weather apps and stations we use. We look at them all and try to make the best guess about what's going to happen here, and they all had snow,
yeah.
and including up to 12 inches of snow, or even in the afternoon. So, so in some respects, it was a little more difficult just having the rain, because it's not a whole lot to deal with the rain,
no,
especially in the cold temperatures. So it's freezing. So there was quite a bit of street flooding and localized flooding just from the rain, and then the tide and the storm surge clearly flooded significantly some areas, in particular part of Route 6A in West Barnstable and in Barnstable Village at Millway and Commerce Roads, where basically the marsh and the harbor just overflowed, the walls that keep it back. And the good thing about that is that it's tidal, so when the tide goes out, it's gonna recede,
right?
Which is what it does, and so it straightens itself out pretty quickly.
Right.
But all that water with freezing cold temperatures after that create a very difficult situation, because it just freezes and it makes a lot of areas slick. And like I say, it's easier to plow snow, but when you're dealing with ice,
doesn't really want to move as easily as snow.
No, in some areas we can't do anything about it other than put some salt on it. But our salt is less effective at really cold temperatures.
Right. And
when you've got standing water that freezes solid, the salt's not going to melt through that. It's meant to keep the snow from sticking, or to just slush the top layer so it isn't as slick. So, but our response was because we had a couple of small snowstorms in the last couple of weeks, minor, 1 inch or so, and really that's about what we got in this. We brought in the secondaries for this one just to take anything on the roads off, because we knew that if we left it was going to freeze solid and then stay that way for a few days, which is what happened. So we, through all the roads, including the secondaries, we went through and plowed what we could off them, flushed them, basically what we call it, and then we salted them all. And, we don't do that a lot on the secondaries, but we felt like, given the temperatures and all the rain, that we should do that and try to make it better. And it definitely was much better because it kept it a little more slushy and chunky, and you can get some traction on it, just not sheer ice.
Right.
In some areas, it was icy, and we had crews in over the weekend addressing those immediate areas and the calls we get from the police or from the website that, it's roads that have hills or where water stands, they get particularly difficult to drive on. So, again, the best we could do was put some salt on there and wait for the sun to do its job, which, fortunately, today, between the temps and sun, is going to make quick work of that.
Yes. And it's supposed to be warm all week, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of a break.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get
this will all
another
be
storm
gone.
come through. Were there any sustained damage across the town to any town property because of all of the ice and the flooding that happened? I know that they had a lot of flooding out at Sandy Neck.
Right, and as far as facilities, their facilities there at the gatehouse and the garage definitely suffered some water damage, mostly not structural damage, but things that were inside were ruined because they certainly didn't expect the water to come through there like it did.
Yeah.
But there's the same marsh system, basically, that was up at Millway that, with the storm surge, just, floods at a higher elevation and goes places it doesn't normally go.
Right.
Which are those low-lying areas. But all in all, I think facilities-wise, we did well. Sandy Neck had some other damage with losing sand on the beachfront, and the cottage colony. I know a number of owners out there on the point suffered some damage, and that was some more structural than just flooding. One house was knocked off a foundation, and a lot of decks and things like that damaged. But I think we fared pretty well, and we definitely dodged a bullet. It was a tough one to manage and call, but I think at the end we did what we needed to do. And sometimes, like with the ice, you just gotta be careful. It's going to be there.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to do about it.
No, there isn't. And like you said, we definitely dodged a bullet. If we had all of that rain and then a foot of snow on top of that, I mean, it would have been way worse than it was. And I think your crews did a wonderful job. I saw them out, all day Thursday and then into Friday. And I actually went out Thursday, late afternoon, early evening, and it was nice to see that the roads, because there was no school that day. People probably were sent home from work. The roads were very quiet, and I think that allows for your crews to be able to be out there and doing what they're doing. So hopefully people will heed that in the future. When there's major storms, there's really no reason to be out on the road unless you have an emergency or a thing like that. But in those cases, you should definitely be calling rescue.
I agree. It was quiet. And I was off Cape yesterday up in the Plymouth Middleborough area, and those roads were bad.
Yeah.
And it just shows, reinforced with me that we do a great job here with the public works crews and keeping the roads as clear as possible and to keep pavement whenever we can. But off Cape, they were hard packed and not good.
No, not good at all. The last thing I want to kind of, remind people about and talk about real quickly is that during a storm event like this, the DPW and the town does a really good job of making sure that, the residents in the town of Barnstable are aware of what's going on. You do updates on the town website. You do updates on the town's Facebook page. I know I was posting updates here on Channel 18. You also have the GPS tracker so people can go on there and kind of see where trucks are going. So how do you feel that all that went this past storm, and were we prepared for the next storm that we might get?
Well, I think it went very well. We worked hard over the last few years with, like you mentioned, with Lynn and your folks and all the options available to us to put information out, and it's getting out. I think on the town website, the GPS tracker's available during the storm, and you can see, we can blow it up and see where the vehicles are and where your road is and all the activity that's going on, and kind of track that if you like, and that's in real time. So
yeah,
it's a good tool.
Yeah, it's a very good tool. You can be like, okay, looks like they're heading my way. They should be
Right,
here,
exactly. Yeah.
in the next few hours. So you'll kind of have an idea of when maybe you'll be able to get out.
Sure.
Dan, thank you so much, and kudos to your department for doing such a great job during the storm. I know, like you said, it was kind of tricky to see what was going to happen. We didn't get the snow that they had planned, but like I said, you guys did an excellent job of keeping the road safe.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
And
talk
I
to
look
you next
forward,
week.
Yeah, talk to you next week. Hopefully there's no storm between now and then.
Okay.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye-bye.
Bye. My guest today is Dan Santos. He's the director of the Department of Public Works. Let's take a look at this week's community calendar. The Friends of Barnstable High School will host a benefit concert featuring Tusk, the Ultimate Fleetwood Mac tribute band, on Friday, January 12th at 7:30 p.m. in the Barnstable High School Performing Arts Center. The Help Keep Music Education Alive concert series is a 7th annual benefit concert for the BHS music program. Funds raised will help to purchase new uniforms for the BHS band, which has over 150 students enrolled in the school's music program. Last year's concert raised over $14,000. The BHS band will perform live with the Tusk musicians on some songs. The Barnstable High School Music Department enrolls students in the marching band, wind ensemble, chorus, and jazz band. Tickets are available at Shaw's Markets in Hyannis or by calling 1-800-316-8559. Tickets are also available online at www.purplepass.com. Now let's take a look at this week's board, committee, and commission schedule. Thanks for joining us today. We will be back tomorrow with an all-new show. On tomorrow's show, we will check in with Police Chief Paul McDonald and Airport Manager Bud Brialt. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Beal.